review part 3. From here, if, Michael, shh, which of the following is not a valid representation of a line that has a slope, an m, that passes through this point? So this is our x1, y1. Anytime they give us a slope and a point, we use the line y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. So with my space that I have, y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Y minus, my number is a -6, equals a slope of -4/5 times x minus, my x1 is 5. Y plus 6 is equal to, I need to distribute, so it's -4/5 x, because remember it's -4/5 times this. Negative times negative is a positive. My 5 cancels out and I get a +4. I can subtract 6 from both sides, and my final answer is y is equal to -4/5 x minus 2. So this means that I have a slope of -4/5. I have a y-intercept of -2. Let's look at the graph. It hits at -2. So that is a good point in our category right there. Let's see if we can go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom, on the money. This is a possible answer. So this is an answer, but it's asking for not. It's asking for not. Let's go right here and see y plus 6. Y plus 6 equals -4/5 x. Okay, good. X minus 5. Look at that. That just completely matches this one right here. So B is definitely a possible answer choice. Or it is an answer choice. Finally, I'm going to look over here. I have -4/5 x minus 2, -4/5 x minus 2. Boom. That is correct as well. But I am looking for one that is not a valid representation. So this is correct, this is correct, this is correct. C is our only answer choice. C is our only answer choice. If a line L passes through the points 5, 0, and 0, -2, x1, y1, x2, y2, then which of the following equations is valid? So which ones match? Which ones match? I have 2 points, so I'm going to do m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I have -2 minus 0 over 0 minus 5, which gives me a slope of -2 over -5, which turns it positive. From here, I'm going to use one of my points. I'm going to use one of my points for y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. For that, I'm going to do y minus 0 equals 2/5 x minus 5. Y is equal to 2/5 x minus 5. When I look at this right here, I see that it did not match this one. But if I used another point, that would be a possibility. When I simplify this down, I get y equals 2/5 x minus 2. I distributed. That's a +2, so that does not work. 1 is not an answer choice. Since 1 is not an answer choice, B and D are not answer choices. 1 is not an answer choice, so B and D are not answer choices. 3 is still a possibility. For me to find the last one, I can use a point, -2 times 5 plus 5 times 0 is equal to -10. So this one, for answer choice 2, I'm using substitution. I'm taking my point 5, 0, and I'm substituting in to my equation. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10, plus 0 is equal to negative 10. If that is a true statement, then number 2 is a true statement. So my only answer choice can be C. This is a problem you're going to want to work at least 3 times to make sure you get it correct. It's a problem you want to work at least 3 times to make sure you get it correct. Look, it's more. Find the slope-intercept form of equation that has a reflection of the slope negative 3 over 2. Has a reflection of the slope negative 3 over 2. So a reflection is the reciprocal, the opposite reciprocal. So negative 3 over 2, opposite, it was negative, it becomes positive. It was negative, it becomes positive. It then flips to 2 over 3. It reciprocal 2 over 3. Y equals mx plus b. A is a possible answer choice. B is not a possible answer choice because I'm looking for 2 over 3. C is a possible answer choice. D is not a possible answer choice because I'm looking for 2 over 3. It then says I want to go through the point 6, 8. I want to go through the point 6, 8. So I'm going to play with A for a second. I'm going to insert my 6 into the X spot. I'm going to insert my 8 into the Y spot. And we're going to see if things work out. So 8, my y, is equal to 2/3 times my x, which is 6, minus 6. 8 is equal to 12 over 3 minus 6. 8 is equal to 4 minus 6. I'm not even finished with this problem, and I see that the math is not going to work out. If I put 6 and 8 in here, it is not going to equal. Therefore, C is my only answer choice. Which of the following is the most valid statement? Well, y equals mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. My slope is 1/6. Negative 2x plus 12y equals negative 11. I'm going to solve for 12y is equal to 2x minus 11. I move my 2x over. I divide by 12. I'm going to simplify. I see that these have matching slopes. These have matching slopes. The slopes are the same. So if things have the same slope, same m equals parallel. It means the lines are parallel. Because they have the same slope, the lines are parallel. That is a true statement. Because they have the same slope and no shared points, the lines are parallel. I don't know why we're talking about shared points. Because if they're parallel, they have the same slope. So B is an answer to confuse you. Because they have different slopes, they are not parallel. We just proved that they have the same slope. Although the slopes are the same, the lines are not parallel. Well, the definition of same slopes is equal to parallel. So A is the only answer choice. What type of slope do you have with a graph of x equals 5? If we graph x equals 5, we get a vertical line through x equals 5. Going back to trusty, ugly Mr. Slopeface, up is positive, down is negative. A vertical line has an undefined slope. This has an undefined slope. The contrast to that is that if we had y equals 5 would go through the point go through the point 5, y equals 5, which would give us a horizontal line, and a horizontal line has a 0 slope. So a vertical line up and down that starts with x equals is undefined. A horizontal line, which is y equals, would give us a 0 slope. Okay, Damien wrote the following recursive formula to describe the arithmetic sequence. Arithmetic means it increases or decreases by addition. That models the stage number n and the number of lines of the matching set. In our first stage, we have 3. In our second stage, we have 4. In our third stage, we have 5. And in our fourth stage, we have 6. To make our lives a little bit easier, we're going to go ahead and make a table that shows the stage and then the number of lines that each stage has. We're going to use the lines to explain why this sequence is arithmetic. Well, arithmetic implies that a pattern increases or decreases by addition. So as I see here, every time I go to another stage, every time it moves up by 1. If you look right here, every time I increase a stage, it increases by 1. So this sequence is arithmetic because it increases by addition. Now there's a different type of sequence if it increases by multiplication or division, but right now this is increasing by addition, so it's arithmetic. How many lines would be represented by L7 at stage 7? This is like a function, f of x. If I put in x, it spits out y. So let's look at our stages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So if I was at stage 7, my pattern would look like this. 9 lines. 9 lines. Remember, I'm putting in 7. What's going into my function, into my sequence is 7. What's going to spit out? The explicit formula for this is L of n is equal to n plus 2. L of n equals to n plus 2. What this is saying is if I take L of 1, it's equal to 1 plus 2 to give me 3. L of 2, that's my n, is equal to 2 plus 2 to give me 4. But my sequence, one for you to remember, is this sequence right here. L of n is equal to n plus 2. What stage number has 171 lines? Well, I have my formula. So I know that this is going to be 171, but I don't know what my n is. This is the output. What do I have to put in to get this output? So I have to go backwards to solve. 171 is equal to n plus 2. I'm subtracting 2 from both sides. 169 is equal to n. So do that again for you. I have my equation. L of n is equal to n plus 2. My output is 171. I need to figure out my n, my input. Box my n, draw my line. What's on the same side? 2. 169 is equal to n. So for me, 169 is the stage that produces 171 lines. lines. All right, let's go ahead and move on. What is another word for rate of change? Another word for rate of change is slope. Another word for rate of change is slope, which is our y over our x. Or y2 minus my y1 over my x2 minus my x1. Slope is also known as m. Slope is also known as m. Okay, the distance that the Flash, love you, Miss Francis, but the F is capitalized on the Flash because he's a very important noun, has run as a function of time is represented by the table below. Rate of change, rate of change, rate of change, rate of change. Rate of change is my slope. It's my y over my x. It's my change in y over my x. So let me go here. I've got an x and a y. What is my change between 5 and 15? Is it going up or down? It goes up by 10. 15 to 25, it goes up by 10. 25 to 35, it goes up by 10. My time goes up by 2. My time goes up by 2. My time goes up by 2. This is a constant rate of change, which first off, spoiler alert, it's linear because it's constant. Let's go ahead and use these values. This is my y, this is my x. My slope is y over x. I need to find the rate of change, my slope, which is y over x. So it is 10 over 2, because it's my y over my x. Y over x is equal to 5 over 1. Since the rate of change is 4, is my rate of change 4? No, my rate of change, my slope is 5 over 1. My slope is y over x. So A is not a possible answer. B, the rate of change is 6. I don't even have to read the rest of that. My rate of change is not 6. It's 5, or 5 over 1. Since the rate of change is 5 over 1, the Flash travels 5 miles every hour. This is 5 miles per hour. True. The only way you would have gotten answer choice D is if you did x over y. But x over y is not. That is not my rate of change. My rate of change is my slope, y over x. A physicist was looking at the mass of a model rocket. She knows that the weight varies directly as the mass m changes. If the weight is 36 newtons when the mass is 9, what is the constant variation? Okay, y over x is equal to y over x.
Mom, when are we gonna go?
36 over 9 is equal to 4. 36 over 9 is equal to 4. It doesn't give me an m or anything like that. I just know that my 36 over 9 is equal to 4. My w, my y over x. Weight varies to mass. 4. Justin wants to graph -3 plus 2x, but he does not know how. Well, first off, Justin, I'm mad that you didn't put this into y equals mx plus b. So it's actually y is equal to 2x minus 3. Justin, it needs to be in y equals mx plus b. And we're going to annotate mx plus b so that we have an m, a slope that is positive 2, which means it goes up 2 and over 1. We have a b, a y-intercept, in which it crosses the y-axis at 0, -3. Put your finger over it. Is that a positive or a -3? It's a -3. So first off, which explanation would help us graph this? Which explanation is going to help us? Plot the y-intercept as 0, -3. That is true. Our y-intercept is 0, -3. That's a possibility. Plot the y-intercept of 0, -3. That is a possibility. Plot the y-intercept of -3, 0. That is not the possibility. What they did is they switched around x and y in this. Plot the y-intercept of 0, 2. Not even close. Because our slope, our y-intercept, our b is -3. It's 0, -3. Let's go back and look at the rest of A. Use the slope of 2 to find the next point by counting up 2 and right 2. Well, if I look at this, this is a positive slope. This is a positive slope. So up 2, right 2 means I'm going up. That is my only possible answer choice. If I go up 2, left 2, it actually makes a line going downwards. So B cannot be my right answer. This next one, you're going to have to get yourself a highlighter or something to differentiate the colors. And you know I love my colors. G. I'm not even reading the problem yet. I just see that I have G. So anytime I see G, I'm going to highlight. F in yellow, F in yellow, F, 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 F. All right, so something happened to F to make G. Something happened to F to make G. F is currently going up. F is going up. The only way I can change this to going down, I want to change that to go G to go down, is I have to use a negative sign. I have to use a negative sign. Only 2 of these answer choices have a negative. My positive went to negative. My positive went to negative. So only 2 of these can be the right answer. A has a negative, so that could change my slope, so that's a possibility. B does not, so that goes away. C has a negative, so that's a possibility. D did not. Now I have to actually investigate. I have to investigate the slopes. I have to investigate the slopes. G, if I look at this slope right here for F, down 1 over 2. So F has a slope of 2 over 1, which is positive 2. Looking at G, if I make my little triangle, my y is 4 over 1. My y is 4 over 1. So G has a slope of 4 over 1. My whole function, I went from a positive 2 to a negative 4. Did my slope get bigger or smaller? It went from a positive 2 to a negative 4. My slope actually got bigger. The direction changed. The negative doesn't mean it's smaller. It just means that the direction changed. I went from a 2 to a 4. So that means I multiplied by a 2. C is my correct answer. C is my correct answer. Almost done, folks. Almost done. Which of the following... Oh, here we go.